Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to see you again. This week we have two books, partially because they're due back at the library, but I love both of them. So I wanted to give you two special books this week. They're very different from each other. But my first one, I have loved this book for honestly about 23 years. I picked this book up when I was in college and I absolutely love it. It is called Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon. Sorry, the cover is making it a little hard to see. So I'm going to let you have a quick peek at Molly Lou, sorry. Kind of got spiky hair, and, pretty blue eyes, and she's got lots of freckles and bright red nose. All right, so we're going to learn a little bit about Molly Lou Mellon. Molly Lou Mellon stood just taller than her dog and was the shortest girl in her first grade class. She didn't mind. Her grandma had told her, walk as proudly as you can, and the world will look up to you. So you can see in that picture, she is quite small. On the other side is a picture of her bedroom. She's even got a ladder going up to her bed because she's so short. And so she did. So even though she is small, she is still doing something pretty incredible, climbing up on those stairs. Molly Lou Mellon had buck teeth that stuck out so far she could stack pennies on them. But she didn't mind. Her grandma told her, smile big and the world will smile right alongside you. She's not letting her buck teeth really get to her. And you can see she's got her pet bird that is looking along right along with her, just noticing how beautiful she is. And she's got her pennies. She grabbed her piggy bank and has all of her pennies stacked out so that she can stack them on her teeth. And so she did. Big teeth. But she's got a great smile. Doesn't seem like she minds. Molly Lou Mellon had the voice that sounded like a bullfrog being squeezed by a boa constrictor. But she didn't mind. Her grandmother had told her, sing out clear and strong, and the world will cry tears of joy. You see that she is just laughing like that. And that bullfrog's even like, oh my goodness. And all the other bugs are like, oh my. And so she did. So even though she may not have the most beautiful voice, everyone is enjoying her song. Molly Lou Mellon was often fumble-fingered. All right, so we have to think about, let's use our context clues. Let's get up real close, fumble-fingered. She is washing the dishes. Got a big old stack of them, but she's on the floor and there's a bunch of broken dishes around. So now we have to think about, what does fumble-fingered mean? Well, if she's washing the dishes, like she was carrying them over here, and then all of a sudden she's on the floor and they're cracked, fumble-fingered might mean she's a little on the clumsy side. But she didn't mind. Her grandmother had told her, believe in yourself and the world will believe in you too. And so she did. But even though she's clumsy, she's got all of her friends and pets looking on as she is on a tightrope, on a unicycle, and her cat is under her trying to make sure she can fall on pillows. Look at her juggle. So even though she's fumble-fingered, she can still do some pretty incredible things. Then Molly Lou Mellon moved to a new town. She had to say goodbye to her grandma and all of her friends. And here's her friend, her house. And here's Molly Lou Mellon. You can tell her perspective right now is Molly Lou Mellon is quite sad. Even the dog in the back of the window, he's quite sad too. He's just got a very long, sad face. And she had to start a new school. She's kind of got a quiet face now. She doesn't have that really big smile. On the first day of school, Ronald Durkin called her Shrimpo in gym class. When the game started, Molly Lou Mellon caught the football, ran under the legs of Ronald Durkin, and scored a touchdown. You see, he knocked him on his feet, off his back. He's going to land on his head. All the children thought, wow, she's good. And Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. You can see that she's so little, the helmet doesn't even fit her. On the second day of school, Ronald Durkin called her Bucky Tooth Beaver. Molly Lou Mellon took out her pennies and stacked 10 high on her teeth and smiled as big as day. All the children smiled with glee, and Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. So even though he's not being super kind, Molly's not letting it bother her. And you can see Ronald looking kind of foolish. On the third day of school, Ronald Durkin said, "You sound like a sick duck." Molly Lou Mellon sang out a quick quack, so clear and strong that it made Ronald Durkin somersault backwards, hit his head, and have to go to the nurse. All the children cried with joy to be free of Ronald Durkin for the rest of the afternoon. And Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. So you can see that this book uses repetition. On the fourth day of school, Ronald Durkin said that she'd made a snowflake all wrong. But Molly Lou Mellon opened up her paper and revealed the most beautiful snowflake of all. All the children oohed and awed, even Ronald. You can see he's in the middle, scratching his noggin, and there's Molly right in the middle of her snowflake. On the fifth day of school, Ronald brought Molly Lou Mellon a stacking penny for her tooth and smiled at her. So it seems like we've had a perspective change. That night, Molly Lou Mellon took out a pencil and paper and wrote a letter to her grandma. "Dear Grandma, wanted to tell you that everything you told me was exactly right. Love, Molly Lou Mellon." You can see that there's her grandma, and she is just like Molly Lou. But she's teeny and tiny, but everything she said was true. So let's think about our story. We had our characters were mainly Molly and Ronald Durkin. And our plot was our problem and our solution. Problem being that Ronald Durkin's trying to bring Molly down. The solution was, you should think about it. How did Molly Lou react to Ronald Durkin? She let it get to her? Or did she stay strong? Look at the title. She stood tall. So the whole time, the solution was, don't react and get ugly. Just stand tall. And so at the end of the story, we had a perspective change where Ronald Durkin learned his lesson and that he needed to be kind after all. I hope you enjoyed that story. So we did Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon, and this is by Patty Lovell, and it's illustrated by David Catchwell. So I hope you enjoy that book, and I will talk to you another time.